I don't know.
Love streaming out. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Lights Camera Rant, and it's 100 episodes!
Woo!
Made it. I cannot believe we've reached this far. And to help me celebrate is my good friend, which we just spoke about, the fact it's the 1 year anniversary from our very first collab. Zach from the Nerd Dose podcast. How you going, man?
It's going good. I'm glad to be back on the show. Thank you so much for bringing me on to your episode, not only your 100th episode. Huge congratulations. That's such a big accomplishment. Really happy for you, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. It couldn't be achieved without your help. Come on the show. I think it's between you and Mark for the most appearances on the show.
Wow. Oh, sweet. That's great to hear.
I think this actually puts you over.
Oh, perfect.
So I made sure I got a party hat to celebrate 100 episodes, which it's funny. I was looking at it and I was like, holy shit, like people actually still listen to me after 100 episodes.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Love people keep coming back. I'm like, what? I'm like, thank you, but why?
Yeah, amazing podcast. Of course they're coming back, without a doubt.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. So what we're going to do in this episode is we're going to just do a little bit of history of Lights Camera Rant and dive into some pop culture news that we've got a lot to talk about. And then we're going to be talking about a retrospect on the Batman because we've just passed the 1 year anniversary. And we're also going to be looking at the final that is the Mandalorian, which there's a bit to cover in it. There's a bit to cover in that, the good, the bad, and the ugly, or the too happy. But before we get into that, first things first.
Welcome to the Lights, Camera, Rant podcast. Your source for the latest on movies, TV shows, and video games. Get ready for ranting, raving, and reviewing. Here is your host, Lee.
I never get tired of that. I really don't. So first things first, man, what have you been up to? Because the last time you were on this show was January. You were my first guest for the year. And now, holy shit, we're in April.
Yeah. Well, I've been pretty much busy with school, finishing up my doctorate. But when I get the chance, I'm going to the movies. So I have been going to the movies a lot.
You have? I've been seeing on Instagram.
Yes. If you follow me on Letterboxd at all, I go crazy. Like I've been.
How are you going with Letterboxd?
It's not too bad. Honestly, I just think I don't have like any kind of following besides just a few friends and whatnot, people that we met through the podcast community and stuff. But honestly, it's just a great way to keep track of everything that I've been watching, kind of what I want to watch. I think I've seen a total of, let me count it just a sec. But it's just cool to see everyone's reviews and whatnot. I have seen, what is it? Almost 15, what is it for? Yeah, about 15 movies in theaters so far this year.
Holy shit.
So I'm ranking it up there. I'm trying to go as much as possible, enjoy my time. It's a great way to get away from all of the schoolwork, a nice way to de-stress. So I love it.
Oh, that's good, man. Hey, and that's the same passion that that we both got when we started talking. Like, have you seen this? What do you think of this?
Yeah, definitely.
But no, what was the last movie you watched? That would have been Super Mario.
So I didn't end up seeing Super Mario Bros. yet. I know.
Nothing like the biggest movie of the summer so far.
I was going to say, did you like it?
I did. Surprisingly, I did. I did have my reservations going in, but it was a lot funnier than I expected. It's a shorter run time, so doesn't go for like the 2 hour mark. I think it only goes for 70 minutes.
Really? An hour and 17?
No, just an hour and 10 minutes.
What? Okay.
I think that's all it goes for. But they use the time well, and it's because by the guys by Illumination. So obviously just for me and singing everything. It's such a colorful movie that they've made, and it's well worth the watch. It's definitely made me go, okay, I'm happy to see a sequel. I'm down for that. I was half expecting to maybe a mid-credit scene of like the hand for like, something to lead into like Super Smash Brothers, maybe like a little Easter egg. But spoiler alert, you don't get that.
I was gonna say they had 2 end credit scenes or post credit scenes, didn't they? From what I heard, like I think one of them led on to possibly like a Super Mario Galaxy movie, and then a Yoshi kind of spinoff. Yoshi.
The Galaxy one, I'm not too sure of, but the Yoshi one, spoiler, yes. You
Okay.
did get that. Yeah, you did get. So that's what it kind of alludes to. So it's made a shit ton of money at the box office already.
Oh my God. I can't believe how much money it's making. It's insane. What is it? The highest grossing, not only just video game movie, like that was not much of a mile marker to be anyways, but the highest grossing animated movie.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It's getting really up there. And because of kids. Kids are loving it. And the thing is, because kids are loving it because of how it looks, but like, people our age or older who have grown up with Mario, they're taking their kids to go see it again and again. So that's why it's making so much. So that's the same thing with like Top Gun.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I keep rewatching Top Gun Maverick.
You have rewatched it?
I've rewatched it at least like twice within the last month. And the reason why is it just puts you in such a good mood at the end of it. It's a happy ending, and it just puts you in a better mood, I feel like. And I sometimes I need that when I'm so crammed in with all my schoolwork. So
just want a movie I could sit down and just have a feel good time, which Top Gun is. Actually, me and Maddie watched that in the school holidays again as well.
Yeah.
We rewatched like, yeah, this really was a good movie. We got also on the YouTube channel, we got Don't Be a Hero podcast saying happy 100th Lee. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Thank you for coming past. Everyone needs to go check out their podcast. They are doing a fantastic job and going through all of the episodes and movies of the Marvel all from the very start and then nailing it. So please go check out their podcast. But yeah, Top Gun's been fantastic. And it's still going. It's still making money. It's probably still in some theater.
Did you see? I think it's made it's made like one of the highest DVD and physical media sales since its release. And I don't know if there's been a news story on that recently or if I saw something, but it is insane how much money it's made outside of the theaters, let alone what it made in the theaters.
Yep. And that's what I think I said to you in our last episode was if Avatar didn't come out last year, that was the highest grossing movie, hands down. Any other year besides Endgame, it would have been the highest grossing movie.
Mm-hmm. The fact that we got 2 movies that grossed well over $1 billion last year alone, post-COVID, is it's mind-blowing. I'm so happy to see how many people are just so eager to go back to the movies. And then we see it again with Super Mario Bros. Within the last couple of weeks. So
the kids,
there was a time during COVID-19 or during the pandemic that I was wondering if movie theaters were ever going to open up again, and like AMC was filed for bankruptcy at the time.
They filed down.
I was really, really worried I was never going to be able to go to a movie theater again or anything like that. So it just makes me so happy to see how successful they're doing now.
I know, but I think nothing will ever take away from the theater experience But there was a little bit concern whether or not what was going to happen to theaters. All I can tell you, the biggest thing from theaters is ticket prices went up.
You don't have a subscription?
I do have a subscription, and it only saves me like $5 off a ticket.
What? Okay, so my subscription is $20 a month, and I get to see 3 movies a week. I make my money in 1 week because a movie ticket's about like 10 to like $12 where I live.
Yeah, not to mention you lucky son of a bitch. You're right around the corner from an IMAX.
Yeah, like half a mile down the road.
Minutes.
Yeah.
And
I could walk there right now if I wanted to.
Yeah, bullshit.
You know what I think is going to be Super Mario Bros. Or come very, very close is Across the Spider-Verse in June.
Oh, dude, that's guaranteed.
God. So that movie, there are so many people obsessed with that movie. One being myself. But I feel like that could be a really good contender to come up again, like passing Super Mario Bros. And like highest animated movie.
I think it will. I think because the fact that it's Spider-Man, kids love Spider-Man. You know, it's not an Iron Man, it's not Captain America. You know, it's Spider-Man. It's gonna make its money.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And the trailer,
trailers are just getting better and better.
Yeah, I keep watching. Like, probably keep vain. I keep watching my reaction to the trailer that I did. I think, that was so good. And I was at Spider-Man from the future, Spider-Man 2099.
Yeah.
Spider-Man who's jacked.
Beast.
Absolute beast of a Spider-Man compared to everyone else. Looks like he's been on roids.
Just looks like a complete badass. Like, I think it's going to be so cool.
And the fact it's Oscar Isaac.
Yep. And just a cherry on top of that one, too.
Yeah. Apocalypse, Dune, however the hell you want to call it.
Don't talk about apocalypse. Oh my god.
That's his proudest moment.
I know. Oh man, that's what he says?
No, God, no.
God, that movie is bad. I do not like that movie. Especially how great X-Men Days of Future Past was coming off of it. Yeah, it's a straight down.
But you still watch that than Dark Phoenix, which was even further into the ground.
Yeah, Dark Phoenix is dog shit. Dark Phoenix does have a cool. I've been kind of like seeing clips on it, not recently, but like over the years. They do have a really cool one of the better fight scenes, I would say, in Dark Phoenix at the end in the trains. Other than that, nothing else.
That's what I've heard people say that like that's the highlight, but everything else is clad by shit.
It's probably the highlight of that and Apocalypse put together, like the last 2 movies.
Yeah. And then they're sold to Marvel. So X-Men is now going to be in the MCU, which I cannot wait. But yeah, so real quick, we'll pull back. So 100 episodes. You know, this podcast started in June 2021. Starting, which I think multiple have heard me say, stuck in pandemic era. All you could do was drink and eat. So I thought I'd start a podcast. Not to mention, the funny thing is, like ages ago, I once actually thought about making a YouTube channel. This was going through like high school, and I thought about making one with one of my best friends, but we never got off the ground. It was going to be, I think, us just shit talking about movies and TV shows and stuff like that, but we never pulled the trigger on it. And it kind of like, just the dominant. And I've always said to my friends, I know it'd be cool to try and do something. And then pandemic era, I was like, well, I have no more excuses. I have no other option. But 100 episodes later, international guests and making friends like yourself, Earth 894, Don't Be a Hero podcast, Stark Wars, Comic Book Boys, Mark My Words. Well, he was our friend, but his account. And the uncredited extras. Like, it's just been a fantastic journey, and I appreciate everyone who's become a friend, who's liked, who's shared every single episode. It's been such a great, and whoever has also brought the merch, thank you very much for that too, which you have a Lights Camera Rant beanie.
I do. I'm not sure exactly where it is at the moment. Otherwise I'd pull it out.
No, but I gotta get some more made. And I gotta send some out to a couple of people. But no, it's just leading up this whole week, I just kept thinking, I was like, holy shit. I was just happy to try and get 3 episodes off the ground.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then I stumbled across you guys, you and Kyle, and it is the 1 anniversary of our very first collab.
Yeah, unbelievable. So we've gone both like crazy, done so much since then. I think it's funny how you found us. What was it? You found us a year ago, right during a weird spot when we were dropping an episode every day for like 7 days straight. I think it was.
Yeah, you did it was a challenge, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just like a silly challenge Kyle and I kind of came up with. It was not easy. It was tough, but
it worked.
Yeah, it did definitely work. Came across you and then got introduced to so many other amazing people in this wonderful podcast community. Everyone is truly a blessing to be friends with. It's so wholesome. And one thing for sure is we all love movies. And that's just a great thing to be a part of.
Yeah, hands down. I love it because we're in a small like group chat. I do love it when a Marvel movie comes out and we're all like, "What'd you think? What'd you think? What'd you think?"
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then because like we're all follow each other in that same week, it's just pops out. Everyone's video pops out like dominoes. Which I can't wait for everyone's review of Guardians of the Galaxy. Like I'm gonna cry before I walk in.
Got the poster right here.
That out of all the posters, that is the same one I'd get framed.
Yep, I got the poster, and then we're also talking about the Mandalorian today, so I got a print of that up as well.
Yeah, with Grogu Din Djarin.
Yeah, Grogu Din.
Even though he's got a longer name, he's still just Baby Yoda.
Din Grogu, yep.
Yeah, baby Grogu.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is gonna break me. Like, I am not prepared what's gonna happen. Like, it is probably gonna. I think James Gunn is gonna pump out something so great that it's gonna either be comparable to No Way Home or bypass No Way Home. Because there's one thing that everyone loves about Marvel is the Guardians of the Galaxy.
I do. Thank you, Perp Minded. Thank you very much for the message. I really appreciate you coming past. Sorry, Yakira. Yeah, it's gonna break. Everybody, it's good, and obviously this is the last time with all of them, and then this will be the last one with James Gunn. So he's gonna make sure he's gonna go out with a bang, and we know Drax is done. So it's gonna be interesting. We all know who we think's gonna die.
Yeah, that's for sure. I feel like they're gonna yank it out of us. I feel like they're hinting at Rocket so much just so they can possibly kill off someone else to just trick the audience entirely.
Well, that's what I was saying is like, I almost think it's too on the nose.
Yeah.
Like James Gunn knows what he's doing. So I think it's too much on the nose. Don't get me wrong. I think he's going to have a completely gut-wrenching experience.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think poor Rocket's going to have a really bad time. But whether or not he's going to die is going to be a different story. I've actually got something for you. Ooh. Just going back, which I showed you earlier. This is our very first collab together.
Oh God.
Hi everyone, welcome to a very special episode. We've got Lights, Camera, Rant and the Nerd Dose podcast and a very special crossover episode, which myself, Lee, and Zach and Kyle. Welcome, guys.
Hello. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening to you, but good morning to you, I guess. I don't know.
Yes. Good morning on my side of the world. Being from Australia and you guys America. This was a lot of fun to try and get together.
So clearly, I had no idea how to edit audio and how to properly collab together because I used Spotify Green Room to try and make that, and that was utterly dog crap. And now that app is actually gone.
Is it really?
Yeah, or it's about to be shut down.
No way. That's hilarious. So what's funny is that because we were using Spotify Green Room at the time, we couldn't do anything on a laptop because it was just an app on your phone.
Yeah.
And we didn't have a connector from my phone to the mic. So that episode is so quiet on our end because Kyle and I are literally recording it off of my iPhone that entire time. So that the microphone is just built into that phone. It was a rough sounding episode from our end for sure.
It was. I think, and that's why I always love it. Those first, I would say my first 20, probably first 50 episodes or 55 episodes were all done off an iPad and phone.
Yeah. I can't believe you edited a podcast off an iPad.
Yeah. Anchor made it
wild.
Anchor made it really easy. Actually, Spotify for podcasters now. Anchor is gone. Made it quite easy. But no, yeah, I remember you saying that to me. Like, are you just doing it off your phone? Like, yeah, why? What? I was like, yeah, nothing that bad. We also, to celebrate the 100th episode, we have a very special guest who's to come past and say hello.
Mark, and I am from Mark My Words, and I'm a streamer, and I've pretty much been starting this since Lee started his podcast, and we've been growing together. We often call each other our running mates because we're always chasing each other, always trying to push each other a bit better. We constantly talk about ways to improve what we're doing, what we're passionate about, and Lee, you've hit the 100th episode. That's insane, man. That is actually insane. I'm so proud of you. I mean, currently at this moment, you're sitting at 248 subscribers on YouTube. We're both pushing that limit so hard. And shit, man. 100 episodes every single Sunday. And you don't miss, man. You don't miss. I'm super proud of you. Happy 100. And I'll see you in the next one. See you later.
For everyone, that was Mr. Mark from Mark My Words. And thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate it for coming and doing that. Hopefully he become past later. But yeah, he's essentially my running mate, and we've been doing it at the same time. And man, he's really pushing his live streaming gaming now, and he's done ridiculously. He did an Elder Ring stream, and he got so many different comments, and he also what else did he do? He jumped up subscribers, and he got like 60 or 80 views.
Whoa, that's great. Yeah, Mark's a great guy. I got a great chance of knowing him through Lee, and we still have like a group chat together where we kind of chit chat about Marvel and whatnot. But yeah, go definitely give him a follow. He's an awesome person.
Yeah, he's doing great. It's only sky's the limit for him, sir. But yeah, he came past and he's like, "Oh, I got a video for you," and I was like, "Oh." Yes,
that's sweet.
But no, let's get on to the biggest thing. Let's get on to the news. Let's get on to the biggest news the past week, which probably the one very first topic, Jonathan Majors. Have you seen the most recent?
Yeah, so he's been dropped by his publicity company, or was his agent company?
His agent and his PR company both dropped him.
That's that was kind of, I don't know, because excuse me, that was kind of like a gut punch a little bit, because the allegations, they came out, and then maybe a week later, all of the allegations like kind of been like debunked, like they didn't really happen, or a lot of it was just misunderstood. Well, don't quote me on that one. So I thought he was like okay, like not like whatever, just something happened, not as big of a deal as like they said it was, and then this happened, and now it's like it is a big deal now.
It's becoming more of a big deal, and apparently, I've just seen in the last 72 hours that probably more people have come forward, and said there's more allegations against him. Which, real quick, thank you, Chad. Thank you very much for the message. Really appreciate you coming past, and I hope you stick around, man. But yeah, I saw more allegations and more people have come out saying that all this, and it's hard in the sense that he hasn't gone to trial yet, so
he hasn't been charged.
No, he hasn't been charged yet. These are just allegations against him, so there's no proof. Well,
yeah,
innocent to proving guilty.
Mm-hmm.
But I did see another post that apparently Marvel has had no discussions yet about recasting him.
Yeah. I feel like the only reason they're ever going to recast him would be if he does get charged.
Yeah, if he does
go to trial, I could definitely like see that happening. Which kind of I feel bad. I feel terrible for the MCU because they're not really on the highest high at the moment. So them thinking their next phase on Kang and then this happening, it's just all the giant mess. And a lot of people are ready to jump ships to DC with James Gunn.
Well, I've seen people comment that as well. It's like, oh, I'm just going to go to the James Gunn. I'm like, yeah, remember, the James Gunn era doesn't actually start for another, I think, 18 months.
Yeah, 2025, I think.
It's with Superman Legacy. I'm like, you can wait as long as you want.
That's probably the next. What 2025 would probably be the next time we get an Avengers movie. I think that's when they're scheduled. So
2026, I think it is.
Yeah, see, the MCU is. I don't know.
2025, we get Deadpool 3.
Ooh, yes.
I'm pretty sure 2025 we get Deadpool 3, which is going to be hot shit, man. That is going to be so good.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. While we're on the discussion of the MCU, how do you think they're sitting right now? Kind of like outside of the allegations, because I saw your reaction video to the Marvels. I didn't have the most fun with Quantumania. I think I liked it at the moment because there was recency bias, and then more movies came out throughout the year, and then that movie kind of keeps falling down and down on the list of like my rankings of this year so far. But yeah, what do you think? How do you think they're sitting?
Look, I think it's a hard thing. It's Marvel's in that particular phase because they're going to rebuild everything again, and I'm giving them that because they're going to go from the ground up again.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, Quantumania didn't do very well, but Kang got the absolute praise. People said that it was the best thing about the movie, and how visually stunning Quantumania was.
What?
Well, I mean, like how colorful it was. I saw people like how
I can see that
colorful, but the plot a bit down. The Marvels, I watched the trailer, but I just wasn't overly excited. Like, I'm not trying to
get out of here.
I can't. Like, I'm not like overly excited. Like, I liked Miss Marvel, but not overly liked it. Captain Marvel was good, but Captain Marvel is not the one I'm going to go back and watch the most.
Yeah.
Well, the most interesting thing for me that going to Captain Marvel, the Marvels, let me pronounce that correctly, is the whole swapping and changing different positions. Yeah. And it's another space movie like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
It's not another Earth movie.
I kind of liked the trailer. Like, I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was okay. I'm
See,
kind of
okay. It didn't
yeah.
like this hasn't excited you. It hasn't excited you like Guardians of the Galaxy has.
Yeah, well, it's tough to come up because we love the Guardians of the Galaxy. You can ask anyone off the streets; they know who the Guardians are. They know who Rocket Raccoon. It's just such a great first two movies. Well, first movie, I'm not the biggest fan of the sequel, but there's the Marvels is coming off of a sequel of what? Captain Marvel. Why
Yeah,
Jim
seek
Ship?
out. Why jump ship?
No, you're not wrong. No, I agree. I'm gonna watch them both. Like for sure, that's never gonna stop. But yeah, you got the Marvels, a sequel to Captain Marvel that most people did not like, and then you got Miss Marvel, which a lot of people also didn't like. I think the actress that plays Kamala Khan, I'm very excited to see her outside of her own show because I think she does a great job as that character. I just think that show itself was just really written weird. It wasn't the greatest. And then we also have Monica Rambeau coming from WandaVision. So I think there's a lot of potential. Yeah.
I have all three of them. She's the one who got the most praise. That everyone loved her role. I think the only thing people disliked about her was that she was talking about a scientist, and everyone was like, "Oh, she's talking about Reed Richards."
God,
and
like 2 months after they bought the rights.
yeah, of course, there's going to be it. But and I agree. It's got Nick Fury in it, and it's in the trailer. You see, I can't remember the villain's name, but she's got the hammer from
Ronan.
From Ronan.
Yeah, I think that's like a typical like Kree weapon. I don't think it's like specific to Ronin particular.
Oh, I just saw it. I thought. I just thought.
Looks like a little copycat. Yeah.
Yeah. Which Cal trailer was very cheesy. Was a little bit, and can we all talk about how a lot of people were just talking about Brie Larson's crop top or tank top? Like that was a big thing in the comments. Like, why?
Yeah, I do not understand that at all. That was just the most random thing out of everything. And the fact, the fact that also like I don't get is that it's also the most disliked Marvel trailer ever too. Which I don't think it deserves that. I think just people are just true haters for the Marvel.
Yeah.
I think.
I don't understand the pure hate. I think Brie Larson did a great job as Miss Marvel, and she was an absolute badass in Endgame.
Oh yeah,
I saw the other day. I absolutely loved it, and someone had cropped the scene, and it was like, imagine if Endgame ended like this, and it was that scene. It was like, oh, something's coming through the Earth's atmosphere, coming down, and someone cropped it, and it was Goku coming down, and I was like, yeah, I would have been happy. Yeah, I would have still been happy with that ending as well.
You still would have screamed.
Yeah, still works. It worked perfectly. But no, she was an absolute badass in Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, we've seen her in Shang-Chi, and we've seen her in the end of Miss Marvel. But honestly, Cal, honestly, hard to enjoy just a couple, but I really enjoy the movie, so trailer not going to turn me off. Yeah, that's the same with us. It doesn't matter if the trailer's shit poor or they spoil too much, which generally, touch wood, Marvel doesn't spoil too much in their trailers. And of every other company, they're the most tight on their trailers.
Oh yeah, definitely. The Secret Invasion trailer was awesome. That dropped around the same time. I'm so excited for that show. So, I'm such a love-hate relationship with the MCU. Like, I'm gonna like one project, but then the next project I'm gonna be super excited for. So it just keeps going back and forth.
Do you think that's the quality, or do you think the fact because they're making these shows for different audiences, like me and you being Marvel veterans, we are drawn to more Guardians of the Galaxy and Secret Invasion and Loki. Yet the younger audience might drawing more to Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
Like
I think. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say. I just think they need to mix it up. Ant-Man Quantumania was not mixing it up. That was probably the most cookie cutter movie that they've done in a bit. And I think I thought they mixed it up a little bit with Black Panther. They're definitely doing that with Secret Invasion. And even with the Marvels, I think they're mixing it up by doing the whole, like you mentioned, they're changing positions or swapping spots every time they use their powers. So it's just a different thing that kind of keeps the audience interested, but while at the same time, just doing the same thing.
Yeah, and I think you're right. It's just, and like Wakanda Forever was still good. Don't get me wrong. I think Namor for me, I just still can't believe I'm rooting for a guy that has wings and is a fish man. Yet I could strongly believe he'd kill your entire family and tell you to bury your dead and mourn for your loss and move on. And I'm like, that's the scariest thing I've seen yet. I could cook you in a microwave and have fish for lunch.
Best villain of Phase 4.
Yes. Him, and then
Green Goblin.
And then Christian Bale. Cool. Thank you very much, Dad. I really appreciate that. Congratulations on 100 episodes. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. But yeah, it's their consistency could be very much in question. And even H Productions, me too, man. But some of them are good, to be honest. Yeah, that's the thing with Marvel. It's just right now, it's still a better place than DC so far.
Yeah,
so far. But what do you think about? I've just heard a news that currently dabbling is that Marvel are thinking about doing a Marvel Con, like Star Wars Celebration, but it's Marvel, a Marvel convention, only Marvel. Like, do you think they've reached that type of level?
I was gonna say, did they do that in the Miss Marvel first episode?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, with Avengers Con, which that was one of the highlights. I was like, I would so be there. That's to say, I'd be dressing up. I'd be doing the same thing.
I could see it definitely happening in the future. I think they're pumping out 4 to 5 projects a year, which I'm glad they're talking about slowing down a little bit, which I think they should. But I could definitely see that as a strong possibility happening in the future. And then what's cool with that, though, is you can also include a lot of like comics as well, because a lot of people who are big fans of the MCU also kept up with some of the comics or read a lot of the graphic novels as well. So I think that could be just a big, like you said, just a giant Marvel con. I think that'd be really cool.
I'd be down for that.
I'd be down 100%.
I wish I could go. And that's the thing is, like, I did see someone's like, oh, these characters they bring out, like, are they just throwing anything at the wall? And I think to myself, I'm like, you remember there's like 1,000 comic book characters. There's so many different characters, and there's still so many in the pipeline that Marvel haven't even touched that they could bring out. So I think that if they made a Marvel Celebration, they would 110% get the crowd. Maybe not at the same level as Star Wars Celebration, but they would still make bank. They would still walk away. Like a DC fandom kind of thing. They'll still make their money.
Do you think the MCU is as popular as Star Wars?
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like
yes.
It's tough to stay that right now because it's been only 15 years, but it's been a constant 15 years. They didn't drop 3 movies and then came back 20, 30 years later. They have consistently dropping content.
Yeah. And not like they've just been building a constant world. It's definitely in the sense of a younger generation, not an older generation. Like the sad thing is, we are the older generation watching Marvel, watching the MCU.
We're growing out of it, man.
No, we're not. I'll be still here when they do Avengers 8.
God.
Galactus.
I was 12 when Iron Man came out. Oh.
I think we've discussed this. I think I was 15.
Yeah.
How old are you again?
I feel bad for the people who are born outside of the MCU, who are born in this MCU right now.
Yeah. You're like, oh, you know, are you gonna watch it when it first started? Oh, you mean with Avengers Endgame, Infinity War? I'm like, no, when it started. Don't make me hit you.
Yeah. No, I remember going to opening nights, Endgame, Infinity War, saw them the first showings at my theater Thursday night. I did that with Captain America Winter Soldier. And now these movies coming out now, I'm just like, I'll see them Friday. I'll see them the opening weekend. It's okay.
It's not, you're not there right when it first comes out anymore.
Well, last year I thought I had to see Doctor Strange opening night or I was going to get spoiled with everything. And now I just realize like all of that is like just people blowing everything up. Like the amount of spoilers in each movie has not come close to what the hype was for Doctor Strange. I mean, we did an episode on it, remember?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. And I actually did listen to that back. We were a couple of our theories we were right.
Really? Okay, that's funny.
Yeah, and some were not so close. And you know what's funny? The other week because I just did. I actually went back and I watched the first trailer of Avengers Endgame, and I watched it and I thought to myself, I'm like, you knew nothing. Like this trailer gives nothing away. It is literally the first 5 minutes of the movie. We had no idea what was coming. Even walking into that theater, yeah, there was some little bit of rumors. Like there was the time travel rumor, 2 Tony Stark rumor, because in the trailer he looks so like newish.
Mm-hmm.
So there was so much going on, and no one spoiled it. Nope. I remember not seeing any spoilers online. It probably was about 5 or 6 days later since the premiere, I saw it start flooding in. So at least a week. So even everyone was keeping to the spoilers to a level.
They're respecting it and the movie itself.
Yeah. Cal, I think the MCU has been past Star Wars. Has been past Star Wars. It's Marvel. Yeah.
Ooh.
True. The older gen love Star Wars are not into social media. That's true. That's true.
I love Star Wars fans on social media.
I'm like, I'll see them when they come out, lol. Or on physical media. God, that's a dying art form too. Physical media.
Cool. Yeah. I want to transfer over all my like collection into like digital because I'm starting to realize like I'm so used to streaming now that this sounds incredibly lazy and I know it does, but I'm like, I don't want to go through the hassle of going upstairs or going somewhere to a different room, looking for a movie, putting that movie back in the DVD player and watching it. Like I would rather just scroll through Netflix. What's that?
First world problems.
First world problems. Yeah. I sound incredibly like arrogant right now, but
yeah, it's true. Like Manny and I, we just threw out a whole bunch of DVDs because like it's all on Disney Plus.
Yeah, and then plus DVDs and what digital media as well. Like not just streaming, like buying stuff off of like iTunes and stuff. They update the quality like over time. Where like my DVD doesn't update at all. Like I'm stuck with the same version that I got 10 years ago. So like that, I don't know. It's kind of more intriguing than it is to grab physical media at least.
Yeah. The only thing is when it's a movie that isn't on streaming.
Yes.
That's kind of shit. And then that's the thing is you have all these streaming platforms, you can't find one single thing it's on. Which Cal on YouTube, what is the best movie of this phase in your opinion?
Phase 5.
I was going to say phase 5. We've only had one. Phase 5. We've only had one.
So I guess Quantumania by default.
Yeah, default.
But for phase 4, like most people, it's definitely No Way Home.
Yeah. For me,
flawless.
For me, No Way Home. Second, Wakanda.
Yeah.
And 3, Doctor Strange.
Yeah, you like Doctor Strange, don't you?
I did. I still. The thing is, like, this was in my argument, my review when I did it. I was like, if you don't try and put the hype of what it was meant to be and just contain it as a Doctor Strange sequel, nothing else. It is a solid sequel to that first movie. But it's when you put in that pool with everything and what it could have been, it starts to weigh down. And I keep hearing Shang-Chi was really good.
Yeah, I think Shang-Chi's my second, to be honest. I think I like that a little bit more than Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
And then Eternals is up there for me too.
I always have this argument with Mark. He's like, Eternals, like, the only good thing about Eternals was that they actually properly represent how a speedster is actually meant to work.
Dude, I can't wait to see The Flash. I'm so excited for that. I know that's a lot to say, especially, but that trailer, I'm hooked.
Well, that's what I was actually gonna say earlier. Like, if Ezra Miller is still going to be the Flash, who has, I think, kidnapped people, strangled people,
started a cult,
attacked Hawaiians, I'm sure Jonathan Majors can stay.
Yeah. Warner Bros. Though. I mean, they are rebooting the Harry Potter series, so like.
Yeah, that's a big question I wanted to ask you, everyone. What do you think about the reboot of the Harry Potter TV shows? Harry Potter movies in a TV show form.
It's too early. It's been 12 years. This is what I grew up on. This is my franchise, is Harry Potter.
Rant incoming.
Yeah. Like, I don't know why they just didn't, like, I know they tried to do their spin-off with Magic Beasts or whatever, but there's so many other stories in this franchise, this universe they could have done or they could do moving forward. And the fact that Judge instead choosing to just reboot the entire franchise, like, I think it's cool that it's a TV show. On HBO Max or just Max. Who knows what it's going to be on?
Sorry, it's pronounced Max now. Just Max.
Yeah. But there's a lot of stuff they didn't keep in the books, right? Like, they didn't adapt from the books to the big screen. So obviously, like, creating that season for each book is going to be able to include all of those details. Now, from what I'm seeing, based on a lot of these recent reboots, is they're not having the charm what made these franchises amazing, or besides Top Gun, everything else that's had a sequel or like a legacy sequel or like an additional to another thing to the franchise, even Quantumania, none of it's having the charm that and I don't think they're going to be able to pull this off either.
No, look, it's hang on real quick. Cal, if you're going to rip the disc, fine, but to rely on a service that can be taken away or it is too risky as a movie fan for me. That's fair. Yeah, that's true, especially if you can't pay for it anymore. And then you have if they do anything like PlayStation and be like, hey, we have 3 tiers of service. And No Way Home was cool, but when you get past the hype, it's just okay.
Whoa.
I think you're just about to put Zach into an aneurysm.
Look at this. Look at all this. I got a No Way Home Funko Pop shelf right here.
Doctor Strange was my favorite of the phase, but I haven't seen Shang-Chi. Cal, definitely go watch Shang-Chi. Is out of all of the Marvel movies, the best thing is the hand-to-hand combat in the movie.
Scenes.
It is the fight scenes, except for the final, are all top notch.
The final was good too. What are you talking about?
Yeah, what I mean is there's no hand-to-hand combat in the final.
Kame.
Oh yeah, there's dancing.
Get out of here, man. Get out of here.
No, I love Shang-Chi. I want him to come back. I can't wait
I'm
to see
great. That's probably the
Yeah.
most. That's probably the character I'm most excited to see in the Avengers, like moving forward.
Yeah. Who's the ring guy?
Yeah, yes. I'm excited for She-Hulk too. I hated She-Hulk the show, but I just loved her as a character, and so I am very much looking forward to see how she blends throughout the rest of the universe. Same with Miss Marvel. So I think they're introducing good characters. I just don't think they're introducing them in good projects like TV shows.
That's a good. Yeah, I can see what you mean by that. For me, She-Hulk, what I loved was that it was very different. It was a very different project than we've got previously, and I love the ending. That was such a left hook of an ending, and I love that they did Charlie Cox's Daredevil with respect. Like you could still take him from the show and watch all 3 seasons and then watch She-Hulk, and you don't go, all right, he's a little bit different. Like, no, that hallway scene, he was about to be just as brutal if She-Hulk didn't come through.
Yeah. No, it was. I think they did a pretty good job with adapting him, but as well as like kind of creating him as the same type of style that the MCU wants. So
Yeah,
for sure.
And Carl, what happened to that all-female Superman that was rumored? I don't know. Don't know what happened to that.
Isn't it the Marvels?
I'm guessing that's the Marvels. Oh, they also did they had the movie special, Women of Power, on Disney Plus.
Is it just like the assembled project movie specials or whatever?
Yeah, I think it was like that. But no, getting back to Harry Potter. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, Zach is a massive Harry Potter fan, and I actually messaged him after the announcement, and I said to him, like, so what do you think of this? And Dinger, he's currently got MIA at the moment. He's grabbing something. I'm just currently enjoying his room. Oh, he's just whipped out his wand.
My wand. Hell yeah. My serious black wand. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
God. No, it's just the fact that they're creating this series so quick. I'm excited because I'm gonna watch it regardless. But I just think it just takes away a lot of what we love from the original franchise, especially with a 10-year gap. So I think it's a little insulting. But Warner Bros., they don't know what they're doing right now, so they're trying to grasp for anything. That's my biggest worry, is that they're kind of doing this for a cash grab, and they're just going to take a giant dump on the entire franchise, and it's just going to be insulting. And that's my biggest worry, is like they want to do 7 seasons. I can see 1 season happening, and then the rest of the show gets canceled.
Yeah, that's the thing. But that's not out of the realm of possibility.
It's like recasting the original Star Wars.
No, it's gross. That's horrible.
Yeah.
That's horrible to do that. And Gakao, I'm so happy that he's staying around and chatting. It was a while ago that we were talking about Tessa Thompson's character and the girl from Black Panther and Widow. No, I don't know what happened. I remember seeing that rumor, but I don't remember what happened to that in the end. And they're talking the Spider-Man approach reboot after 10 years. That's another thing, is like they did do Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, and then reboot, and then they did with another Spider-Man 1, 2 reboot in less than 10 years of each of them.
Yeah. But hey, they're all different universes, but we know Harry Potter's not going to do that. So
no, and I thought when I saw the announcement, I thought it might have been it was up for discussion as if it was going to be a prequel, or if it was going to adapt, if this was going to be a sequel and they want to do it that way. But no, then when I read further into it, I'm like, no, this is a flat out reboot. But I'm like, what? Like, I understand, like, as you said, I understand, yes, with a TV show, you can add in more characters that might have not got much love, that have been left on the cutting room floor. But it is like, it's just an announcement. So we're in 2023. We will not see this until about 2025, 2026. I'd say 2026, roughly. I'd say we would get, but as a child actor, you're going to be hated when you're replacing Ron, Hermione, and Harry. Like, you're going to have so much of a big backlash, and the shoes to fill are going to be so big. Like, you just, like, that poor kiddo.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy on them, I think.
No. And recasting Snape.
Yeah, that's going to be insulting. It's just going to be, yeah. God, don't even bring up Snape. And now we're going to have to recast Hagrid after the actor God.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I don't like it. What is it? Robert Coltrane, I think it was. Yeah,
he passed away. And even my partner Maddie, who loves Harry Potter, thinks it's too soon.
Yeah.
Well, I said my episode when it's going now. I would have loved to seen kind of like the rise of the Order of the Phoenix. The first version, and have that show lead up to like the ending is Voldemort going, I'm going to the Potter's house. Yeah. And then cut.
For sure. I think
like we don't need to see that scene again, but you knew where he was headed. Similar to like Star Wars Clone Wars, like the last episode, Ahsoka does here, like, Anakin's gonna go see the Chancellor.
Yeah.
Like that kind of step. But no. Reboot.
Well, here's the thing. They're rebooted because they stumbled the bag with Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah.
Remember, that was supposed to be
epic battle.
Supposed to be a 5-movie franchise. There, after the third one came out, there has not been a confirmed sequel for that one.
No, and the most annoying thing about that is that we still, like, it was leading up to the big battle.
Mm-hmm.
We won't get to see now.
I thought Secrets of Dumbledore was okay. I didn't think it was bad. And then I thought, what is it? Crimes of Grindelwald. I thought that one was bad. I didn't like that one. It's just they're introducing so many random characters without like fleshing them out at all, besides like the main three. And then one of them happens to be a muggle, but somehow keeps like he's a muggle but can use magic. Yeah. So it's just silly stuff like that. Give us a trio, flesh out that trio, and then give us cool characters, and then do quests. I mean, Hogwarts Legacy. I haven't played the game myself, but from what I've heard, that's been a success. That doesn't revolve around Harry.
It has made so much more money than I expected to be. It has been such a big launch, and every Harry Potter fan has been loving the game. Like, to me, I haven't finished it because it's so big. Like, it's like Grand Theft Auto kind of big. But, just the things of, like, getting on the broom for the first time, going into the dark forest, and spiders. Why spiders? Why? But see, the thing is, that's a prequel.
Yeah.
Everybody loved it. And people were already clamoring for a sequel to that video game. Which they've just announced Harry Potter Quidditch game.
Okay. So like the Star Wars, remember Star Wars came out like a squadron game kind of 2 years ago that kind of like was terrible. Like people did not really like it. I'm going to try. I think Legacy comes out on PS4 here in the next month. So my goal is to get it and try to grind as much as I can before I start my clinical rotations. So I'm very excited for that. But why not? Yeah, I can't wait. Why not just do like a 30-year gap? Create a sequel series like Star Wars did. Introduce all new characters. Now, I know sequel series with Star Wars is a love-hate thing. But one thing they did right, I loved Finn, I loved Poe, and I loved Ray. Like, I think that was a good trio.
Ray.
What's that?
Ray.
Right. Yeah. Why can't they just do something like that with Harry Potter? Just create the charm, because I felt like Force Awakens did a great job expanding that universe as well as maintaining the charm that Star Wars had. So
thank you, Mr. Dean Jansen, 100 episodes. Appreciate it, man. And thank you, Mr. Mark My Words, which we just showed your video earlier. Thank you very much. But I agree with you. I'd be happy with that. If they told me they were going to do it 30 years later, and even though it would, like, imagine the same, but they do same thing as like with the Force Awakens. A new bad guy comes around and kills Harry.
Yeah. I was gonna say
kills Harry in the first movie. Like, how, like, gut wrenching of like how much would that set a trilogy of movies?
I would hate that. Just create a new sequel series without any connection to the original franchise. Just entirely different. Don't have any actors, any characters in it. Everything new. Do what you can. Like, just do something fresh. Don't reboot an amazing franchise, which probably most people can say like is a very consistent franchise. Like, the movies are all good. Like, there's never a bad movie like there are for other franchises like Fast and Furious or even the MCU, something like that. But like this is like a solid, consistent franchise. Like, each movie is good, just as good as the last. So it's so frustrating.
Some more than others, but yeah.
And
it's funny, actually. You look at it and you realize that there was a possibility of them dropping out a lot earlier.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently, like, Emma was thinking about leaving at, I think, at Goblet of Fire or something. She was leaving because of all like all the media. And I remember thinking, fuck, that would look so weird if it was just suddenly another bird.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, hello. Wow, summer really changed you.
I didn't know about that. Though. I did not know about that. That's wild. But I can see why, though. Franchise is huge.
Yeah, and people will still, I'm sure they'll still get Harry Potter questions until they die.
Oh, there's just so much to live up to for that. And
yeah.
Like, I think Rupert Grint was just in the Knock at the Cabin. Do you remember? Did you ever see that one with M. Night Shyamalan?
No, that's got Batista in it, doesn't it? It's Drax.
Yeah, it has Drax too. Yep. So yeah, Rupert Grint was in that, and I was like, "There you are, Ronald Weasley."
Yeah. It doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah, we're gonna find you.
Yeah, and well, really. They've done movies. I say Dan Radcliffe is probably the one who's been the most consistent in movie limelight, to be honest. Like, he was in Now You Can See Me, there's magician movies. He was also in he was in the biopic film of Weird Al Yankovic.
Yep, Al. Weird Al. Yep.
Yeah, Weird Al. But yeah, I don't know. I don't even know I don't know if I ever want to review it. But then again, I did review the Halo TV show, which was shit.
Yeah, is that getting the second season?
I
forgot about that, but because that was like last year, wasn't it?
Season. Oh. Hey, Owen, thank you very much for that Create Extras on Twitch. Thank you very much for the 100th episode. Appreciate it, man. That was, the Halo was terrible.
Yeah. I remember you telling me you did not like it, because I think it came out last summer.
It did. And I was looking back, I was like, oh, that's right. They're making a sequel to this shit.
God. Why?
So, and Harry Potter movie is just not going to, I don't know. I really don't know, man. Don't know. But did you also see that they're going to what was it? The Stan Lee documentary. There's a Stan Lee documentary coming on Disney Plus to celebrate 100 years for Stan Lee. That's coming out on June the 16th.
Okay, so they did come out with a release date for that then.
Yes, so we knew it was in the works for a little while, but they're going to be bringing that out, so that'd be really fantastic to see. No, Mark, we're not going to play the video again, but you looked really good on it. You're like, that's a good, pretty good source, man. And thank you very much. Very much, congrats. Yeah, thanks, man. And Daniel Radcliffe. Yeah.
Oh yeah, what is it? Swiss Army Man? Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Swiss Army Man. And he was in another movie. I think it was a TV show, something to do about God. And he's working in the file department.
Yeah, it was like an anthology series, I'm pretty sure. Like each season they jump to like a different generation. And that show's actually pretty funny. I can't think of what it's called. It has like Buscemi in it, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, I remember seeing him in that. And yes, Mr. Mike Words, Chris Quality is always here from yes, it is always for everyone who go watch his streams. There, so much sauce at once. Miracle workers.
Well, I was gonna say that. Do you know who? I'm pretty sure that Daniels did Swiss Army Man, from what I remember, which they just won the Oscar for. What is it? Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I still need to watch that.
Dude, it's incredible. You're sleeping on it. It is so amazing. It's like 2.5 hours. It's long, but I loved every second of it. You'll have a blast. It's weird, but you got to just go with it.
Yeah, I remember when it came out because everyone was like, "This is what Doctor Strange should have been."
Yeah. Oh yeah. It makes Doctor Strange look like a man for comparing like the multiverses at least.
Yeah. Well, I if you haven't already, also go recommend to watch the Tetris movie.
Oh, did you watch that? That's on Apple TV, right?
Yeah. That was surprisingly, Mark watched it, and both my other mates did watch it. It was actually really good to watch, and probably one of the best highlights, which I won't spoil it for you, but the movie's like broken up into chapters, and the like the frames to show it's chapter 2 or chapter 3, they're all pixelated.
Oh, that's funny.
Like Tetris pixelated. So that's really good, and they've really kept in the music as well. It's a great way. Obviously, it's Hollywood, showing, but I recommend it. It's good to watch. And thank you, Mr. Mark Words, for also viewing on Twitch. Appreciate it.
Quick question for you, and this might be a little off topic, but what has been your favorite movie of the year? Now that we
that's right.
talked a lot about Tetris.
Oh,
we're looking at close to 5 months. Like, in the next month we'll be halfway through the year. God,
my favorite movie of the year would have to be John Wick 4 right now.
Ooh, yes.
The movie I've gone in and gone, holy shit, that was so good, would be John Wick 4 at the moment. However, in two weeks, that might change with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Whoa, wow. John Wick was a blast. I had so much fun. I loved every character they introduced. I loved the different fights. Like when they started whipping out the bows, I was like freaking out. Like at the first scene, and then same with the nunchucks. And then they brought it over to the Germany nightclub scene. It was just so great. I loved every second of it.
The scene in the nightclub,
insane.
The rain, the lighting. I'm like, that is cinema. That is fantastic. And I love that character said what we've all been thinking over the 4 movies. Why won't you die?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, dude, you just pushed off a 2-story building, land on your back.
It was just like the last hour. I heard someone like describe it as like a GTA game, because like when he's around, I think he's in France. When he's going around that roundabout, that circle, every time a car came out, like 4 people came out. So like it always reminded me so much like GTA, because that's what happened. But like that was GTA.
That was a good scene too. I love that too. question for you, spoiler it, is he really dead? Is he really dead?
I think they can go two ways. I did not expect him to die in this last one, especially the fourth movie, which is I could see them moving forward. I can also see them not. John Wick, I mean, Keanu Reeves is almost like 60, I'm pretty sure. Like he's getting up there for age wise. Someone said like John Wick has died, but like I don't know what his Russian name is like alive or something like that. So like he's just going by that alias now. But I know they got the Continental TV show that's coming out as well as like the ballerinas.
Yes, the Continental TV show I'm really interested to watch because it's a prequel into how Winston became manager.
Oh, it's a prequel. Oh, really?
Yeah, so it is a prequel. And it's how Winston. It's based in the 1960s. The trailer's out for it now, but it's how Winston became the manager of the Continental.
Ooh. Okay, I'm okay with that.
And the ballerinas, I'm not 100% sure where that's set, but I know Keanu Reeves is meant to be in it.
Yeah, he does make an appearance, so I'm guessing it's before John Wick 4 or before everything.
John Wick 3, John Wick 4.
Yeah, because like John Wick 1 through 4 is literally a span of like 2 weeks.
It is. The director said that like it's about a 2-week span. I'm like, that's a blood pool of people have died in 2 weeks.
What's funny is like he goes to like 10 different countries in that.
Yeah, I know. In 2 weeks. He gets around. He goes to the desert. He comes back. He goes back to the desert. He goes
back to the desert in the fourth movie again.
Yeah, goes to New York, back and forth. But no, I just wasn't expecting for Lance Riggs' character to die. And it, I was like, I know.
Very sad. It was nice that they dedicated the movie towards him as well. I think Keanu Reeves came out and said that too.
Yeah, I'm glad. What has been your favorite movie so far?
So on Letterboxd, I did rate John Wick a 5 out of 5 stars. I think on the rewatch, I think I might drop it down to 4.5. Like it's good, it's really good. But I saw, so I think that's definitely up there for top 3. I saw Air last week. Amazing.
Oh, the movie about Michael Jordan without Michael Jordan.
Yeah. They show glimpses of like the back of his head or whatever. But it's not about Michael Jordan.
You're a dirty bald person.
I know. But that movie was just such a blast. It was hilarious. The directing was fantastic. Ben Affleck was the director.
Yeah.
I was sucked into it. Viola Davis was absolutely amazing. I did not want the movie to end. Like I was just having such a great time with it. And I think if you are considering that, or even if you're like, I'm not really a basketball fan either. So I just kind of just went into it and then just blown away by it.
Oh, that's good. I've seen all the reviews for it are really good. That's been all positive.
There's also like the first movie for Ben Affleck and Matt Damon's production company. That just started up within the past couple of years, where they're taking like smaller movies and doing a little bit more lower budget movies, but to like just create new stories and just explore different type of cinema.
Well, okay. Well, yeah, I haven't watched it. It's up to watch it. But no, I'll definitely give it a watch now. Which, speaking of Ben Affleck, which you did mention earlier, we are meant to get a new trailer for The Flash, April 25th.
Oh, I'm okay with that.
There was a teaser for the Flash movie, and what do you think of The Flash? Like, what is your bold prediction? Do you think it's going to be good? Do you think it's going to be shit? And who are you most excited to see?
Okay. I will say this real quick. I also saw Dungeons and Dragons twice. Loved it.
Oh, is that any good?
I think it's it's a blast. I think it's a great blockbuster. Yeah. I was laughing my ass off, and I love the practical effects. So if you get the chance, it's a ton of fun. But going on to The Flash, I'm excited. I hate to say it. I wasn't blown away by the trailer, but I thought the trailer was good. Definitely got my interest. I think Reverse Flash, which is weird because they haven't introduced Reverse Flash, even though he's like the center point of the Flashpoint paradox.
Yeah, he is. He's a massive dick, and he's the reason why the Flashpoint paradox
exactly.
happens.
So I think they're going to transition that character or that motive for that character into the Barry Allen that we get introduced, the other Barry Allen.
Yeah.
Like because there's something called the Dark Flash, which I'm assuming that's what that
so
Barry
many
Allen
versions of the Flash. That's no funny.
So I'm excited. I haven't seen what is it, the Michael Keaton Batman movie, so I can't really go from there.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, geez. End of stream. End
of stream. But I am also looking forward to seeing just cool fight scenes, and I like to see that Ben Affleck's coming back. Hopefully we get some cool scenes with him, and then I'm looking forward to for Supergirl as well. Just something different. I think this is going to be just very different than what we're used to for the DC, and I think it could be a fun time.
I think it's gonna. I agree. I'm looking forward to seeing Supergirl. I love her super suit. I'm glad it's still close to the pretty much the same as Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill's suit. I do like the little changes. That looks fantastic. And I'm looking forward to seeing Ben Affleck back as Batman. Please go watch, just before you watch The Flash, just go and watch the first Batman with Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson.
One day.
And you'll see why I'm really excited to see him back as Batman. But apparently
I was gonna say he's got a lot of cool action scenes from just the trailer, which I think is hilarious because he's like 60.
Yeah. I just love this. Like, I would have loved to see his face when he's like, "Oh, you want to come back as Batman?" Done. I've already bullied the kid over in the MCU. Let's go bully some more kids.
Not wrong.
Which we have Mr. Star Wars podcast who's just come past on the YouTube. The boys, congrats on the big 100th episode. Yeah. Always so impressed with the content. Likewise, man, you are one of the standard barriers with your content. Always 100% every single time.
Absolutely.
Not to mention your Jar Jar Binks episode, which was a good week there where we're all like, what the hell is he doing? What with your cryptic tweets?
Threw us for the loop for sure.
Yeah, it was just like, what is he doing? That was fantastic. Yes, of course. Got him with a party hat. Even though I look like a dunce or a unicorn. But yeah, the Flash I'm excited for. However, I'm not expecting to be fully blown away because we know nothing's moving forward.
Yeah. No.
So I don't even know. Huh?
Don't get attached to like anything.
That's what I mean. Like, this is a one fun song, if you want to call it, because I doubt there's going to be any post. The only post credit scene will probably be for Aquaman.
Yeah. I hope I think they're going to definitely keep Jason Momoa for Aquaman moving forward, and I do hope they keep Shazam. Like, I had a pretty decent time with the last.
Shazam.
Yeah, I like the last. Shazam. I like the sequel. Did you see it?
Yeah, I did. I did watch it.
Oh, you did? Okay. What'd you think of the sequel? Oh, come on. You thought it was that bad?
No. I like the whole idea of family. I thought some of the action scenes were really good. I thought the dragon fight scene at the end was good. Probably the only thing I just didn't like about it going in was I feel like with Billy as normal and then Billy being Shazam, like meant to be the adult version, is like, why does he seem more as adult as himself than he is as the hero?
Yeah, I think I think that's the biggest complaint, and I remember that complaint was one of the bigger ones when the first movie came out too. So
Yes,
yeah.
you do, Mr. Michael. You do. You love being cryptic. And thank you very much for popping past. Really appreciate it.
See you, Michael.
Catch you, Michael. Yeah, that's one of the complaints. I just found it was a little bit off-putting, and this is not a movie that I'm going to go back to anytime soon. But I did love the Avengers cameo. Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah, that was so funny.
Dig right at the end. I did love that.
I think coming off of Quantumania, like I thought I enjoyed Shazam Theory of the Gods more than Quantumania. I just had a little bit more fun. I don't think it's anything great. I thought it was decent. I thought I had a good time with it. It was bearable. Like I wasn't like ripping my eyes out or anything like that. So like it was decent. But I want to know if you're going to be in theaters when they release the Zack Snyder Justice League 4-hour cut in IMAX in the next week.
I have to double check. I don't think it's playing here.
Oh, really?
I don't. Not to mention, I probably would have to hook up a catheter in me to go watch the movie in IMAX. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'd be all down for it, but just 4 hours. It's long. Like, I'm looking right now, and
okay. So as of right now, my theater next Saturday, is only showing Return of the Jedi out of those two who are supposedly releasing the same.
I would love to see Return of the Jedi. So for IMAX, Guardians of the Galaxy, The Lord of the Rings, IMAX trilogy presentation. Good Lord, that'd be long.
That's right. They released the Lord of the Rings 40th anniversary Return of the King. I'm pretty sure extended edition.
Good Lord. Oh, Oppenheimer will be so good to see in IMAX.
Yeah, I want to see that in Dolby.
Mission Impossible. Yeah, nah. Yeah, Oppenheimer would be so good to see in IMAX. I'm recommending that to anyone right now. Is that you should, if you have the option, that's no pun intended, but that's going to be a blast.
Yeah, I can't wait for Oppenheimer. I think Christopher Nolan's making a little bit of a comeback after Tenet.
I didn't think Tenet was that bad. It was just a bit like.
I heard the second watch like helps it a lot, and I've yet to watch it the second time. So.
I understood it, but at the end, I was still like, yep.
Like the reverse fight scene, that's just so cool.
I know. How good is that? And then when they go back to that same scene, you're like, oh, this is how, like, that would be so much training to reverse how you're fighting would be, which is what, it's such a brilliant movie. Probably also want to say, just to touch on that, apparently the Alec Baldwin's charge is being dropped after what happened on set. Apparently that's been dropped.
Good.
And the Spider-Man movies and Venom movie are going to be on Disney Plus. They're appearing over the next month. It will be Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, Venom, only the 1, and Spider-Man Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home yet.
I was going to say, is it that many? Because I just heard there was Spider-Man 1, 2, 3, Amazing Spider-Man, and just Homecoming, and that was it. I didn't hear anything about Amazing Spider-Man 2 or Venom.
No, I saw the posters, Amazing Spider-Man 2 and Venom. Venom was the most surprising one for me.
Yeah, it's very surprising.
It's to do with Sony and the rights with Netflix.
Dude, Sony
streaming service, which is bullshit.
I think all the Sony movies are on Stars. I think that's what they're.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Which is alley bullshit. And also Now, here's a little two tip points I want to talk to you about before we dive into movie reviews. Apparently, Steven Spielberg had an idea for Shrek. Did you know this?
I did not.
Apparently, he was looking in to buy the rights to do the Shrek movie in 2D, not 3D animation. And we're looking to have Bill Murray apparently as Shrek and Steve Martin as Donkey.
Interesting. Like he wants to reboot it, or this was back.
No, this was like a
like before it came out.
Yeah, this was an idea. I'm like, nah, like it's bad enough we're getting Shrek 5, but I didn't want to see that.
Hey, did you watch Puss in Boots The Last Wish?
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, right? So like there might be a little hope for Shrek 5, okay?
Could be, yeah. That was the villain for Puss in Boots, like
everything about it was great.
I wasn't going to watch this movie, but Mark had watched it and he's like, you need to go to the movies and see this. I'm like, no, it's just Puss in Boots. He's like, no. Like, this is really good and terrifying. I was like, okay, I'll go watch it. And then at the end of it, I was like, holy shit. Like, kids might got scared.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I could see that. I didn't expect it to be as great as it was. Like, I was just blown away by it. I love the animation and the fact that they even brought in like mental illness with his anxiety attacks. Like, where'd that come from?
Yeah, I'm an anxiety dog. I'm like, oh, I'd keep you. I was like, oh, you're a horrible person. You're horrible. You're evil. Oh, what took you so long? I always love the fact that's the same voice for Spider-Ham.
Oh, yeah.
And he's also Andrew Gloverman in Big Mouth.
Okay, yeah. You're talking about, what is it, the big, one of the main villains?
Yeah. They put the main villain in Puss in Boots. Yeah, but that's something about Shrek, you know. And then this one, because we're still talking about Marvel, Adam Driver. Have you heard about this rumor? Mm-hmm. Adam Driver is apparently in talks to play Mr. Fantastic, Mr. Reed Richards.
I heard he was offered the role, but then he hasn't accepted it yet, or that's it. Like he's been offered the role. So I think I like it. I think Adam Driver is a fantastic actor. I think I think he was probably the best part about the sequel Star Wars movies, in my opinion. Just really? Acting wise,
high pants? High pants, coming through his waist.
High pants.
That was one of the best parts you're talking about.
Oh my god! Oh yeah, absolutely.
or him turning around and go, "Your parents are nothing or nobodies."
Yeah, listen. He wasn't a part of that part. Like he was a part of the writing or the dialogue. But I think it's a decent move. He's a big time actor. Like they're trying to get big time. I think they're trying to get big time actors because they're really, really trying to push Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm happy if Adam Driver does get it because I think he would do a fantastic job. However, at the same time, I won't be disappointed if he doesn't get it and they still go with a younger cast.
Yeah, that's what I'm confused about. Is they wanted a younger cast, but then Adam Driver is like in his 40s.
Yeah, that's the part. I'm like, no, I'd probably go with a young cast. So the rumor is, I don't know how much like leverage is that how they're going to explain why the Fantastic Four haven't been around is the fact that Reed Richards accidentally made a quantum machine, and they all get sucked into it, and they come back out. So when they come back out, they're actually going to have like the 1960s Fantastic Four outfits.
I'd love that. That'd be awesome. I was going to say I thought I don't know where I heard this. This might have been like a TikTok or something like that, where they just kind of came out of like a portal from the sky or something like that. And then Hank Pym recognizes them because they went on that mission when he was like working with Shield or something like that.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that they appear, and that's why they're in their 1960s outfits and everything. That's why they haven't aged or anything.
I like that. That'd be perfect.
And it would make it like it. I think everyone would be like, "Yeah, you know what? Yeah. Craziest shit has happened. I will believe that."
Yeah, exactly.
And it'd be only like Nick Fury and Hank Pym would actually remember it. And then and then he might buy Avengers Tower and turn to the Baxter building.
I can see that. The people were really pushing Penn Badgley, who's the star of You. I don't think that's a good choice at all. Like, he's short. Like, he's like 5'5". Like, Reed Richards is tall.
Yeah, just like the early 2000s movies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I think if they get a young cast for this point in the MCU, which we know the Fantastic Four will be leaders and pillars in the Marvel moving forward, because they're going to
be like the next big thing before the X-Men.
Yeah, I think they should go with a younger cast at the time, and I think they should grow into it. I'd definitely be given that 5-movie contract for them.
Do you think they'll be casted by the time San Diego Comic-Con comes out in July? Because last year I thought for sure they were gonna we're getting announcements, but I could see that for sure happening this year, because as soon as they get casted, the internet's gonna shut down. People are gonna freak out.
Well, Fantastic Four is meant to come out in 2025.
Okay.
So maybe.
I could see them.
Yeah, I'll say maybe.
I could see them being casted and then they're start production at end of 2023.
Yeah. Give me a second. Oh, what am I doing? Jesus. 2024. I guess so, because then they would have to go into movie production next year.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to go for 2025. So where are you? Timeline.
I could see them saying we already started filming. We got a script going. I could see that happening for sure.
I could see that too. Where are you? Where the bloody is the timeline?
The timeline. They keep shifting movies though too. That's reliable.
They've stuffed it.
Yeah. I think I'm pretty sure 3 movies have changed since they announced everything from San Diego last year.
Sadly, yes.
Yeah.
They did, and it sucks. But something this big. Yeah. So sorry. No, February 14th is when we're meant to get Fantastic Four.
2025.
2025.
Okay, so that's a good amount. That's 2 years away, 2.5.
Yeah. So I could see the end of this year them having announced the cast to go shooting next year, because I think Ryan Reynolds said Deadpool 3, they're doing principal photography at the end of this year.
Okay, so they're going to start here pretty soon too. Okay, cool. I'm excited.
So in 2020, Deadpool 3, November 2024, Fantastic Four, Feb 14th, 2025, and Avengers Kang Dynasty, May 2025.
Okay.
So currently right now, the only thing that's in 2026 is Avengers Secret Wars.
I just wish these phases or these arcs, because I would call them more of arcs at this point, because the King arc is what we're in the middle of right now. I wish they were just stretched out a little bit longer.
Dynasty.
The King.
Oh, actually, no, it's not. No, it isn't. So my apologies. It's the multiverse saga.
Yeah, it's gonna be done with in 2 years. It just stinks. I just wanted it stretched out a little bit more. Because we know the Marvels isn't really tapping into the multiverse. I just wish it's not a 10-year thing like the Infinity Saga was.
No, but that's the But thing is, they didn't say how long this. That's the hard thing, is because it does seem a lot shorter. Yeah. But by the time we say that now, but by the time we watch Avengers Kang Dynasty, it's nearly been 4 to 5 years since the last Avengers movie. Actually, sorry, my apologies. It'll be 6 years.
Yeah, 2019, right? Yeah, 4 years. It's been 4 years since we've seen Endgame.
Yeah,
My
it'll
God,
be 6 years since we last saw the Avengers movie. So it won't. So by the time we watch it, I feel it'll be like, no, we need this.
I don't think it's coming out in 2025, in May 2025. That's 2 years away, and we've heard nothing about it. No way.
Oh, we've heard rumblings.
We just know Kang's coming back.
Yeah, one of the Kangs. It was terrible. I was gonna make it's terrible. I was gonna say like the allegations of the John Matthews. Like it wasn't him. It was a variant. So he's still fine to play in the movie.
Yeah, he can still play.
Yeah, it was just a variant. Like
where's the scroll?
It was a scroll. Boom.
Problem
But no, good. Like that's the time frame. But you got to remember, there's also going to be Shang-Chi 2. There's meant to be Internals 2. There's meant to be there's Shang-Chi Internals, Doctor Strange 3, 2, like Doctor Strange 3 is meant to be popped into there. So and you got to remember right now, there's no announcement of any movie between Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. So we at least know there's going to be at least one more movie between that gap.
Okay.
But Fantastic Four, you're right. We could very well see a trailer, announcement this year for them.
For sure.
But let us jump on to something that Zach wanted to touch on because it's nearly been a year.
I was gonna say we might make it a little quick with this one. You're gonna talk about Mando. Yeah, go for it.
No, I don't want. So it's nearly been a year since we got this movie, The Batman. So The Batman is currently sitting on 77.8% on IMDb and 85% on Rotten Tomatoes. It had a budget of $200 million and it made $770 million at the box office. With 1 year removed since that came out, how do you think it's stacked?
Amazing.
So one word, amazing.
Amazing. I hate myself because I have not rewatched it until today. Until this morning. So I watched it this morning for the second time. And I'm mad at myself that it's taken me this long to rewatch it because that movie is insane. I love the world building. I love the villain. I love the mystery. I love the noir crime drama. Like it's just everything that's so perfect, but so different from previous Batman movies we've seen. I'm just in love with it. I'm so excited for the Penguin. I'm more excited for the sequel. I cannot wait for more. It was it's 3 hours long, but it was probably one of the quickest. It's like a really quick 3 hours.
October 3rd, 2025.
For the sequel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, actually. Yeah. Ooh, so we're getting the Batman 2 and Kang Dynasty in the same year.
Ooh.
That's already a strong year.
That's gonna be quite the year.
Yeah. And like watching it, when you watched it again, did you have the same thought as you did? I don't know if we had the same thought, but I found I watched it. I'm like, I got to the end, I was like, there was bits in this you could have trimmed. Like you could have trimmed this down a little bit. Because I remember when Falcone died, and I thought, this is where it's gonna all wrap up. Like, no, there is another 40 minutes in this movie.
Honestly, I don't see a lot of it because even the scenes that do kind of drag on, it's just more so world building. I didn't, like I said, when I watched it today, by the end of it, I was like, are you kidding me? Like it's already at the end. Like I have like 20 minutes left. I can't believe like that was like 2.5 hours. Like it just flies by so much for me. I don't know. How many times have you rewatched it since?
I've watched it once.
Okay.
I've watched it once and I still thought to myself, I was like, you could have still trimmed a little bit. But at the same time, I watched it. I still love the noir about it. I still think Rob Pattinson did a good job of the character. and what has spawned from that movie, from the Penguin, the Arkham TV show that's probably still in the works. It's just, there's so much world building that Matt Reeves is doing with this, that this is very much going to be around for a very long time. And this is just one stepping stone. This is obviously, this is still moving forward. This isn't going to be part of the James Gunn universe. This is going to be dubbed Elseworlds. Same thing with the Joker 2. It all separately, but it's made its money. It's done. He did what their mission was. They achieved it. I love what they did with the Riddler. Still watching things. It's creepy as shit. They did so good on that aspect. But at the same time, when I watched it, I was like, it'll probably be a while before I watch it again because it's such a long movie.
Yeah.
Like I'll go watch Endgame again, even though Endgame goes.
I think I might end up watching Endgame tonight because of how much Marvel talk we've been doing right after this podcast. But
did you see my reel last night?
No, I didn't. No.
Oh, it was like, oh, your thoughts in your head. Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. It's like when I go to put Endgame on for the 1,000th time.
God, that's funny. But yeah, just like you said, everything that it spawned out of, like, I think this is a truly great potential for like a really great franchise. And I think Matt Reeves is so passionate about it. I think Robert Pattinson is, I thought he was a good choice to begin with. And then to see him in the role, I thought he was even better. I know that's just so weird to say, but I feel like at this point, especially after the Batman, he's like, I don't really associate him with more anymore as like the Twilight guy or whatever. I think the biggest thing that I love about this movie,
one like a gun.
What's that?
Well, the guy who holds his wand like a gun.
Oh my gosh, that's right. My boy.
I rewatched Gone of Fire just recently, and I'm like,
oh, that's funny.
You using your wand stands out so much now that's been pointed out compared to everybody else. Like everyone else is like this, but you're like you're about to just try shoot like that. And then, then my boy.
I think the biggest thing I love about the Batman is that he has an arc. Like he has character development, which is at the beginning, it's all about vengeance. And then at the end, you see him transition to like, I have the chance of being a beacon of hope. So and you don't see that. You barely see all that at all in the Dark Knight movies. Just overall, just seeing how that character kind of transitioned. Because I feel like you see it a little bit in the Batman Begins, but like right off the bat, he is the Batman. Like he is the same character. And then whereas this one, we get to see him fail a lot. We get to see him lose in fights as well. Like he got his butt handed to him a few times during the scenes.
And the flying thing.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So like, he's
like
growing.
Anyone else, you'd be dead. You'd be so dead.
God, freaking what does he do? He yanks out the parachute as soon as he's going under the bridge.
Yeah. You'd be not even Tom Cruise.
No. But yeah, we just get the chance to see him grow and transition into the character we know. So I think that's just really unique kind of way of presenting this type of character by being so different from the previous movies as well.
I think so. I think so too. And one of the things I do love about this movie is, I don't know if you've ever played the Batman Arkham games.
I played Arkham Asylum a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. I liked how like that opening scene. It does show like these tall buildings in Gotham. It's this like dense. It's always raining.
Yeah.
That's another thing that I like. Is like a lot of this movie, it's raining, and it's just it's dirty. And I do still love that first scene when he walks with the music. And I remember listening to the music because it got released, I think, about a month before the movie came out. And I remember listening to it.
You were a hater. Yeah, you didn't like it.
I hated it. Because I hate it because I was like, I didn't get it. because when you listen to The Dark Knight, like that theme that always sends chills up my spine, and
Hans
even
Zimmer.
Hans Zimmer, fantastic, and obviously the guy who wrote the film for it. The only other theme I think remember him doing was he did the updated version of Jurassic World and something else, which I can't remember the top of my head. And then watching that scene was so good when he walked in, when he's going, "Who the hell are you?"
Yeah, just beats the living guy to the pulp. God.
Yeah. And everyone in the theater is like, "Yeah, he's dead. You killed him." There's
Well, I was watching
no
that thing.
way.
All of his friends ran away, and he was still laying on the ground.
Yeah, he was still laying him like, nope.
Yep.
He's gonna be in a wheelchair.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I'm very excited to see that franchise kind of moving forward.
Yeah. Do you feel like, are you being patient, or do you feel nervous the fact we really haven't heard much about the sequel?
Well, we got this. I think the fact that we got the sequel was confirmed by James Gunn like a few months back. That was my biggest worry. Is
there was nothing. There was
no. It was ridiculous.
No,
you make a $700 million movie. How are you not? You earned that much money. How are you not making a sequel? Like freaking Shazam made, I think, like 300 million at the box office, and it got a sequel. So like, I think at the time they were just.
What else is Warner Brothers going to make?
I know,
a good movie.
I think at the time they were just jumbling on what to do and what direction to go to, and then finally when they came to their decision, they were able to announce it. So I'm very excited. The Penguin. I don't know if you saw the trailer. That show looks awesome. I think it's great that we get to see that it's picking up right after the events of like the flooding. So we get to see him rise in power, as well as all the consequences that event, that tragedy, like took on Gotham.
Yeah, and how Penguin will rise to being what he is right now, which is one of the best highlights of the movie, is that Colin
Farrell.
Did such a good job as the Penguin. I didn't know this, but until just recently, that he wanted to smoke. So obviously, the Penguin smokes. You always see him with like a little cigarette, in the which I don't remember Danny DeVito smoking, but apparently Colin asked if he could, and Warner Brothers was like, "No."
Interesting.
You can't even hold one in your hand. Or
That's
something
weird.
like that. Yeah, because they don't want to promote smoking. I'm like, yeah, but the difference is it's the character. Like that is.
Well, I feel like they've kind of like moved away from that now too. I don't know. That's interesting. I feel like, because I definitely see that being a big thing where they like are avoiding smoking, not promote it or whatever, and oh, it's bad. But like that was like years ago when they did that. That's not like recent.
Yeah. I thought that was a bit. I was like, oh, okay. Like I get it, but at the same time, like it seems like quite a petty thing to. I feel like right now smoking is it's
well
still,
known. How
yeah,
we don't need to not see it in movies for us to drill in our heads.
Oh yeah, well look at the really old movies. Everyone was having a smoke.
Mm-hmm.
And here's another thing: is who would you like to see in the sequel? And apparently the working title at the moment is called The Batman 2.
The Batman 2. I really hope it's not.
I hope it's not too. I'm like, no, please don't. Please at least do what like Captain America did. Captain America subtitle. Captain America subtitle.
Yeah, give us a subtitle. I think that'd be cool. I want to say Mr. Freeze, but the rumor is Clayface. I think
yes.
I think that's an interesting choice. Obviously, he's not going to be the giant mud pile that everyone like knows him to be. He's going to be very grounded. So I think I'm just curious to know like the type of style he's going to take, because no one really saw Riddler as being this, serial killer. Like at least that's not what I kind of thought him as, like from the games and stuff and the movies. And then here he is in this universe. So I definitely think like Clayface is I'm very interested to see what direction they go with that character if they choose him, I don't know if that's confirmed or a rumor.
A rumor for Clayface, but there'd have to be a scene where he looks like a pile of mud, or sorry,
yeah,
flag, or everyone will lose their shit.
I could see him like, getting into like a fire and like half of his face is melted, and then he uses a mask made out of clay, or something along those lines for sure.
Yeah, doing like a real like serial killer kind of.
Yeah,
I could
definitely a
see
lot
that.
of trauma kind of pushed onto that, and I hope he's not connected to the Wayne family as much as like the Riddler kind of was in the first movie.
Yeah, yeah. I would love to see Mr. Freeze. I think Mr. Freeze would be such a good setting in this Matt Reeves universe, especially if they do, like the Batman animated series and what the Arkham games do. Like he's really not a villain.
Mhm.
He's just a doctor trying to find a way to cure his wife. I think that'd be such a much grounded story. Another character that I could see in this universe would fit very well, which is Hush.
Ooh, that'd be awesome.
Hush,
I was gonna say,
fit in there real good.
Do you think they'll introduce a Robin at all?
Third one. I would say third movie. Or in this one, we might meet Robin, but he only helps like he's trying to be a fan and he's telling him to go away, kid.
Well, now that I think about it, I think they're kind of pushing the Robin in the Brave and the Bold movie coming from James Gunn, so maybe not. But
yeah,
I'm here. I'm looking at
Damian.
Damian Wayne, I think it is. I'm looking at 4 movies for this. We got the first one with the Riddler, second one Clayface or Mr. Freeze, third one Court of Owls, and then finish with the Joker.
Yes, Court of Owls.
And then have Joker kind of like in the background of all movies, and then finally you see him like full power.
The third one, full power Joker, and surely by that time frame he would still be peak Batman.
Yeah. Yep. And they picked a great actor for it, Barry Keoghan. I think that's a great actor.
Yeah, he was great in Eternals.
What's that?
He was great in Eternals.
Oh yeah. Hey, he just got nominated for an Oscar.
For what?
For best supporting actor in what is it? Oh, it's the Irish movie that just came out with Colin Farrell as well. What's it called?
I know. I can see it on Netflix. I can see the poster.
Is it on Netflix for you guys?
It's the one I'm thinking of. Is that with the guy?
Banshees of Inisherin. That's it.
That's it. And isn't that the guy from Harry Potter?
Yeah, it has Mad Eye Moody, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Donald.
That's it.
It's one of the Gleasons. I think it's the dad.
Yeah, which he's one of his most popular roles quite recently is being in Paddington Bear.
Brendan Gleeson, that's who it is.
That's it, yeah.
His son is Domhnall. Yep.
But no, very hard to believe that Rory hit 1 year of the Batman. When I saw that post, I was like, holy shit. Where is the year gone?
Dude, it's just going to get worse as we get older. Don't remind me.
I know. Well, apparently too many birthdays can kill you.
Really? Oh,
yeah. It's going to be scary walking into Avengers and I'm going to be 32 or 33. I'm like, oh my God.
But yeah, I've been here since the beginning.
Yeah. I've been here since day one.
Day one.
Yeah. Do you even know who the real Iron Man is?
God.
Yeah. I bet you don't even know who Whiplash is. I bet you don't, kid.
Tell me what scene where he screams, Tony Stark built this in a cave from a box of scraps. Tell me what movie that's from.
Yeah, tell me what movie that's from. With a box of scraps. I love how that's just been taken so out of
context, yeah. It's like a big TikTok trend.
Yeah, there's Tony Stark. I know, it's probably a different Tony Stark again. Yeah. Do you have any more little tidbits about the Batman, or do you want to move on to Mando?
Ready for Mando.
Alrighty. We are at the end of The Mandalorian, the season finale, the return. This is which ends the era of television of Pedro Pascal.
Yeah. For now.
Yeah. 8 weeks.
Yeah.
8 or 9 weeks.
January.
He's been the man in television on top.
But he's not really in the Mandalorian zoo. We didn't even get his helmet off this season.
Oh.
No, we did it, and I'm kind of surprised.
All right, just see how that sounds. Oh, you didn't get your helmet off.
Oh my gosh.
No, he didn't. Because the whole thing was about the Creed. That's why he couldn't.
Yeah, he got reinstated or whatever.
Yeah, he couldn't.
Well, I thought for sure, what was in the last episode, Moff Gideon, when he was on his knees, was going to pull off his helmet to like demasculate him or something like that.
Oh, I thought too. I thought he was going to take off his
He was
mask.
literally walking up to him. Like, how was that not going to happen?
Nah. So going into this final, we got rumored there was going to be a heartbreaking ending. There was so much build up to this, especially after the season finale of season 2 of The Mandalorian that we got was outstanding. Everybody loved it, and that was seeing Luke again, that fight scene, that was great. So obviously there was a little bit of hype about this, especially when we know Ahsoka is coming in August.
Yeah. Oh, it's
August?
Oh wow. 4 months away. That's good. I'm excited for that then, because Mando I think released and around
Hayden Christensen back again.
Yeah, that should be great. I want to watch Clone Wars, but that's a lot to watch.
Yeah, I know. I'm the same thing. I'm like, maybe I'll just watch a quick review on YouTube.
Go to YouTube. Also, Jon Favreau said there was a cameo that was better than Luke Skywalker.
Yeah. No,
where was it?
Nah, didn't get that. So spoilers, left, right, and center. So as we see this, so right now the Mandalorians are fleeing and fighting the evil Mandalorian stormtroopers. Din Djarin is captured, and also one of the Mandalorians is going to have to go warn the fleet because they're about to get attacked by the reinforcements. Moff Gideon has his own suit, own Mandalorian suit. And before I go any further, I would like to say my condolences. I'm so sorry, the Armorer. I'm so sorry. I think from the entire fan base that we all thought that you were the traitor. That we all thought you were you're like, yeah, this bitch.
Dude, people were calling it. Like, they were like, this is happening. Like, you just don't say there's a spy and then don't say anything about it at all in this season and then be like, oh, never mind.
Yeah. There's no spy. So what did you think of this final, man? How did you think this all wrapped up? What was your highlights and what did you think was shit?
So I like this. Okay, so for this episode, I really liked it. I thought it was a lot of fun. I think we got a lot of great moments for Din Djarin, especially since he's kind of taken a little bit of a backseat this whole season, which is okay. The show's called The Mandalorian. I mean, Bo-Katan, she's a Mandalorian, so like it counts. But I was glad that it was so focused more on him, and then we got to kind of see him, like this story kind of wrap it with him and Grogu as well. So I liked it. I think there was a lot of cool action scenes. It was a little shorter than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
They did not wrap up anything. Like, that's what I'm so frustrated about with this season, is that they introduced so many things and nothing got paid off, like, at all. So I just, like, the Mythosaur, we have, like, Grogu's flashback that just ended on a cliffhanger. Who else? We got,
did they really explain how he rocked up on the planet, did it?
No, and then they introduced Moff Gideon for one scene and then kill him off in the next. Like, I don't understand that. They introduced clones. I hate episode 3 now more than ever because of this season, which is the one that's focused on Coruscant with the scientists. Like, we spent an hour with them, but when we can't spend a little extra more time with our main characters. So just so many
And
things.
Kane, I just realized Kane wasn't in it either.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
bird.
Yeah. God. Thrawn wasn't in it either. I thought for sure they name dropped him. Why wouldn't you introduce Thrawn when we have him for Ahsoka later on?
I thought he was going to be an after credits scene. I thought they were going to do the same thing with like the Book of Boba Fett. You know how in season 2 that was the end credit scene leading into the Book of Boba Fett. I thought we were going to get the scene of maybe Thrawn walking down a ship, and then someone tell him, "Hey, Moff Gideon is dead," and then him turning around and be like, "Good."
Yeah, or like just like maybe a 10-second scene just to get us excited for Ahsoka, but they didn't. They couldn't even do that. So, but I did like that they sieged Mandalore, even though I thought that was going to be like a 1 to 2 season arc rather than 3 episodes. Yeah, yeah. So I thought for sure that was going to be a lot longer, but I had a pretty good time with this season. I think I liked it a little bit better than season 2.
I can see that. I do overall this season. I do like that we got so many more Mandalorians.
Yeah, that was so cool.
I think that was so good, and I think this episode had so much action in it. I loved it that way. The ship crashing into the planet, into the ravine, like that was so good. Like the whole CGI for that entire episode was utterly crisp, especially the fight between the Mandalorians in the space. In space, like how they're all flying around. I did see something that made me think twice about this. Think about 3 episodes ago, they were using their jetpacks to try and fly against to get to the bird, but their jetpacks cut out. Yet you've just done this fight scene for 10 to 15 minutes, and you've had enough jet fuel. That was all fine.
Yeah.
I did think about that. I probably will. One of my gripes about the episode is the Darksaber gets destroyed so easily.
I don't like that at all.
Just like, no, this should be a duel. That should be like, too many lightsabers at once, or like those purple wraparound things. Like if they were pulling on the blade and it snapped at the blade.
Yeah.
Not just, oh, I crushed your hand.
Yeah. Well, what didn't make sense is like Moff Gideon had super strength with that suit, but like the suit is supposed to be armor. So like of course they made him wear the helmet for that fight scene because Giancarlo Esposito is like 70 or something like that.
Yeah, he's not doing that. No way.
It was cool that we got to see just a straight Moff Gideon fight, but the fact that he was just able to crush it in his hands, it didn't make any sense. I think they're going to rebuild it. I think it's too important to Mandalore lore and history for them just to be like crushed and then we never see it ever again.
Yeah, no, it can't be. Not when you've nearly had 2 seasons building up how intense and you're telling all about the lore about the weapon and how much how you have to wield it. She lifted to unite Mandalore and then I just crushed your hand. That's all I had to do to break it. I thought that was shit. I was for a split second worried about Grogu going in to fight the assassins, and I did think that maybe he would Din might die for a split second and try and protect Grogu against all 3 of them. Which was a good fight scene. I did like that. But yeah, Moff Gideon. Did you like that Moff Gideon just died by flames?
No, I feel like some people are rumors saying that was a clone that died.
Do you know why?
What?
Because his mustache.
Oh, it's gone.
Because there's like, in season 2, Moff Gideon has a mustache, but this Moff Gideon didn't have a mustache.
I was saying, like in this season, he has less hair too. So I think it would be very lame if he was dead, especially since he's been the big villain the last 2 seasons. Like, you just don't show up for one episode and die. I think that's terrible writing, especially when you build them up so much. And then why the hell introduce clones if you're gonna just destroy them? Like I get it, like clones, they're a thing, and you keep alluding to that, like, oh, Snoke is technically a clone with Jedi powers, or yeah, the Force, but like we already knew that. So why do you keep hinting at it so much? It's just one thing that made me mad so much about that Grogu fight, when he was getting pinned down in that other room, is that IG-12 got snapped just like that. So why did they introduce this droid? They introduced IG-11 so they could scout out Mandalore. Guess what? Don't end up using him. Okay, whatever. Just moving on from that. And then we're like, oh, we'll reintroduce him, but have him as a suit, right?
Yeah.
But then why have him as a suit? Is he supposed to protect Grogu? Right? That's what you think? No. He gets cut, his arm chopped off in half a second, and he's already out of the suit. So why have this damn IG-11 droid suit?
I know. And you know what's most insulting? Is that you've got this character, and he's voiced by Taika Waititi.
Yeah. Yep.
And he was one of the best parts of season 1.
Yeah, he's like one of my favorite characters in season 1. He's like second or third for sure. And what's dumb is they find a different IG-11 droid, but then they're able to repair that just fine without the suit. What?
I know. Oh, I just realized who the cameo was that Jon Favreau was talking about.
I think it was the guy who played Jar Jar Binks, right?
No, no. At the end, when the Mandalorian walks into that bar with the rebels, Dave Filoni is at the bar.
Is he really? I did not notice that. That's funny.
Yeah. I only noticed him because he always wears a cowboy hat.
Did he have a cowboy hat in it? Oh my god!
Yeah.
How did I miss that?
Because he's the other one at the bar wearing a cowboy hat. I was like, there you go. So I guess another thing I didn't like is that there was nothing alluding to. It was wrapped up very nice. So are we going to get a season 4? Like, I think for Star Wars, The Mandalorian should be highly regarded and should get all the money to keep going, because The Mandalorian, hands down, is what saved Star Wars.
Yeah, it has the best budget. I mean, I was blown away by the CGI in this season, especially the pirate episode. The amount of CGI, the amount of ships we saw. It was just I think we had 2 or 3 really great. What is this? Was it like air fighting ships?
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
like really great chase scenes like that. So it was just blown away with how much money they dumped into this season. No wonder it took so long.
Well, no, they had the Book of Boba Fett first.
Yeah, it's erased.
Yeah, because if you turn the clocks back, you gotta remember we just got the sequel trilogy, which The Last Jedi, The Rise of Skywalker was very divisive, and not a lot of people liked it. And
that's so random.
My words. Don't know, man. Ray Skywalker was just so profound.
Oh my gosh.
Most amount of sarcasm you can imagine. True, and that's the thing. Like, you gotta remember when we watched that movie, it was so decisive. It didn't live up to the hype, and that was the state Star Wars was in before we got The Mandalorian, which rebuilt hype into everything.
I was gonna say, I think The Mandalorian came out before Rise of the Skywalker. No?
Oh, did it? Oh shit!
Because Rise of Skywalker came out in 2019. Yep, it did. Or at least the beginning episodes. I think because there was this big thing that happened. It was like either the last episode or the second last episode, Grogu used force powers, or not force powers. He used the force to heal someone. And then a week later, we saw it in Rise of Skywalker where Rey used it to heal someone. And everyone was like, why introduce we see it both twice? And then we never saw it used for healing before that either.
And then you realize that what's his name? the Emperor realized, he could have healed Anakin, but he didn't. Good dick. But you gotta remember when we first got, like, everyone loved The Mandalorian. That first season was universally loved compared to watching the sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
So I do hope there is a season 4.
I
do hope they rebuild the Darksaber.
Yeah.
I
think season 1 of The Mandalorian is like perfect. I think everything about it is amazing. I don't like one episode in it, but that will never. I've rewatched it a couple times because I just think it's a fantastic season. It's an easy burn. I definitely, like you said, I think for sure we're getting a season 4. I just think there are so many things that they introduced and chose not to wrap up that we're just gonna hopefully see later on.
In Ahsoka or season 4 of The Mandalorian.
Yep.
Which they might do at Star Wars Celebration. They might announce season 4, so that makes sense.
I hope it doesn't take 2 years.
I know, I hope so too. Well, at this rate, we've got a live action Star Wars show oh no, next year's Andor.
Dude, Andor is great. What are you smoking?
You know what I mean is it will be another 2 years because
okay. I thought you sounded so disappointed that it was Andor next year.
Andor wasn't my biggest pick, to be honest.
What? People are like,
I liked it. I just think you could just condensed a little bit.
I think
like you probably could shaved off probably an episode or 2.
Maybe. So I think people are liking Andor more than this season of Mandalorian.
They are. Like, don't get me wrong. What I loved about Andor is the greenness of someone who isn't powered.
Right. So I think go right ahead. Sorry.
No. Like, I mean, like, it's not a Jedi. It's not a Mandalorian. Like, this is just a spy. And obviously, season 2 of Andor is going to finish right leading up into Rogue One.
Yeah. I think it's hilarious is that people were bashing on Andor so much at the beginning of the season because we had those slower episodes. And then it wrapped up great. And now people are like, oh, it's the best show. It's better than Mando season 3. I'm like,
yeah, I know. That's Star Wars fan for you. And I did see, I don't know if you saw it, but the Star Wars Celebration, there was a whole bunch of people that dressed up as the Cell people. And they were running around the convention center going like, one way out.
That's awesome.
I'm like, that's brilliant. That is fandom to a T.
I love that. That's such an easy cosplay too. That's so perfect. Oh,
yeah, and they were just running around going one way. And I saw the chick that plays Armorer. I forgot her name. She went undercover too, and no one really picked her out. And it was actually her.
Her voice is so distinct in The Mandalorian. So I feel like if I hear that, like I'm going to be raising questions.
Hey, what was that? You sound awfully familiar. Take off your helmet. No, and this episode wrapped up everything nice. Din Djarin is going to be still a bounty hunter and working with the rebels. And Mandalore is reclaimed. I did like how we had that scene. I thought that was a good scene. They're restarting the fires of Mandalore, and they're all going to be living on there. At first, I was like, oh, why isn't Din living on the planet? I thought, oh, no, it makes sense that he's not living there. And I did love the fact that Grogu is officially Din's son.
Yeah, I like how she was like alluding, like, well, you'll have to find his parents or they're dead.
As soon as she said that, I was like, oh, there's season 4.
I was like, are they alluding to his parents being alive? And then she's like, nope, we'll make him your adopted son. I was like, oh, okay, what?
Yeah. No, that's not leading to season 4.
But yeah, I guess it's kind of weird how there's other foundlings that don't go on missions. They're stuck on Mandalore. So like, why is Grogu the one who needs like his separate missions? I don't know. It's just, it fits the storyline, I guess, because at the end of the day, he's a bounty hunter. Like, we know who he is. What's kind of like, I made this point to Michael from Star Wars podcast, because we were talking about the finale after it came out, that like I really missed the Razor Crest, his old ship, because he could for his I wouldn't say victims, his what is it, like the targets or whatever for the bounty hunter inside. But now that he has the N1, where's he gonna put those people that he's bringing in?
Yeah, hey, that's a really good point. I didn't think about that.
You can throw them on the hood of the N1.
Yeah, just put them on the front and then go in hyperdrive.
Go at light speed.
Yeah, like light speed. And lands. I'm like,
hyperdrive.
A little bit crispy, but like here, you said dead or alive.
Oh my gosh.
But you gotta admit, like, this is what I always say to Mark, that first line in that first episode of Mandalorian. I could bring you in warm, or I can bring you in cold. And you're like, that just set the whole thing. But yeah, and I do like that Mandalorian's reset. Bo-Katan was I'm glad she got her justice. She was so broken at the beginning of the show, just on a castle by herself with a robot, just alone. I did like that, and I think this season 3 does hold up compared to the other seasons. I love it's still going to all the lore. What I love about the Mandalorian the most is that it's at that nice sweet spot between the Star Wars movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like it's not too far away from Return of the Jedi, and it's and obviously it's very far away from the sequel trilogy. So there's still so much can happen in that time. What would season 4 hold? I don't know, because
I liked how much this season focused on Bo-Katan because she's a great character.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just seeing so much of her was just really fun, especially her and Din Djarin kind of like teaming up and going on missions together.
Oh,
so I think that was just really cool.
I will serve you. Your song has not been written, and you're like,
yeah, I did not see that coming. Like that came out of nowhere a little bit. Like I know he's always been with her, but he's like, I'm taking the back seat here. I'm following your lead on everything. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I was like, whoa. And your song has not been written. And you're like,
oh God. Dude, I almost teared up when Grogu was saving them from that explosion.
How good was that? Like the fire. I thought it was so good.
And he didn't pass out.
Yeah, I was expecting him to pass out, but he didn't. It's
just how that scene was, and with the music, and you just see even you could see both Mando and Bo were protecting him at that time. Like they both were willing to risk their life to protect him, and he's the one saving them. It's so beautiful. I love moments like that.
That was one of the sweet moments that I still love to this day. That every time Din does anything, the flute, he just walks into a scene. Flute,
yeah.
Makes one punch.
Yeah, dude. There was one episode we kept hearing it every 5 minutes. I thought that was hilarious.
He did, and look, I think Pedro Pascal can have a break now.
Yeah, he gets a couple of years off.
He's done so much promotion. Because you remember, he's been doing promotional material from the start of the year, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like he's been presentation, social media, non-stop because of both these shows.
I was gonna say, I feel like I saw him promote Last of Us more than Mandalorian.
Well, I guess because the Mandalorian was more of a group.
Yeah, and it's like returning to, and The Last of Us is so new and fresh. So
yeah, this is the first Last of Us, but this is the season 3 of Mandalorian, and there's me, there's Bo-Katan, there's the Armorer, but season 4. Let's hope that gets announced at Star Wars Celebration. Fingers crossed.
Star Wars Celebration is in 2025.
Shit. Yeah. That's right, because it's already 2025. Oh no. What am I thinking of? Not Star Wars Celebration. What's the other one? Disney.
Comic-Con?
No,
Disney. Yeah, Disney Plus Day or whatever.
Disney 25.
Yeah. It's like in November.
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of. They might announce season 4 of The Mandalorian. Yes, right. And then next up we have Ahsoka. What did you think of the trailer for the Ahsoka?
So I know nothing about Rebels, but from the little that I've seen,
just accept their scum.
Yeah. I'm excited. I think it looks cool. It looks like they're bringing back every person from the Ghost Crew. I think that's what they called.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it is. I'm very excited to just see Thrawn on the live action because I heard he's just fantastic and such a great character. So really looking forward to see how that gets fleshed out.
The heir to the Empire. Long live the Empire. I think what I'm excited about the Ahsoka TV show is I forgot her name who does it, but she did a fantastic job in season 2. Rosario Dawson.
Yep.
Which she actually got to meet for the very first time. She actually got to meet the voice actor at the Star Wars Celebration. They got to meet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's nice.
So I'm really looking forward to that. I think Thrawn, which is getting played by the same actor who voiced him.
Yeah.
Great, which is Mad Mix's brother.
No, that's so wild.
So, and I forgot her name, but it's Obi-Wan Kenobi's wife that's playing a character.
Elizabeth Winston.
Yeah, she was in Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yep. Yeah, she plays one of the main characters, I'm pretty sure, as well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny. Yeah, like she got sucked into this universe because of Ewan.
Yeah, I know. But I think a lot of people are also excited for that Hayden Christensen is returning.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
For flashback scenes.
I like that. I wish we got more flashback scenes in Obi-Wan Kenobi. Or no, just Kenobi. We got one really good one, and I was kind of surprised that was the only flashback scene. I thought we were getting at least 1 or 2 more, especially how much they were hyping up that he was returning.
I thought we were going to get more as well. I have seen on someone on YouTube. Are you talking about the fight scene? Yeah. I have seen someone's on YouTube. Someone's actually cut that scene together.
Oh, really?
Or you just watch that one scene, and I think they've put some music, Duel of Fates.
Oh yeah, because it keeps going back and forth, kind of.
Yeah.
The episode.
So yeah, it's gonna be good to see that, and I have no doubt this is gonna be another great show. It's gonna be. I think that first trailer is everyone we've seen so far, so I'm sure there's gonna be other cameos.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think this is gonna be a fun show. I'm not sure kind of like the style or direction they're going to go into, but I'm definitely going into it with an open mind. And I have trust in these Star Wars shows. I didn't really like Kenobi that much, but I don't feel like Ahsoka is going to be like that though.
No, I don't think I have complete faith in Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, and their team, and I'm very excited to see their movie that they're making. Because they're making a movie to wrap up the Mandalorian, Ahsoka, and everything. I'm like, yes, I will be there for that movie on a movie budget. What those guys are going to do is going to be like I feel like it's going to feel like Star Wars of old.
What I don't understand is why did they announce that movie? Because if that movie's supposed to wrap up Mandalorian, right? Like, we want another season. We want maybe even 2 more seasons of this show. So why did they even introduce? Why the fact that they brought up this movie makes me fear that the Mandalorian is going to end a lot sooner than I wanted to.
Well, some things can't last forever. So we might get season 4, huh?
I said, give me at least season 5 seasons. I think 5 seasons is perfect.
And no one's going to say no. That's the thing. No one's going to say no to 5 seasons of Mr. Mando.
Mm-hmm.
The man who's half man, half DeLorean. Well, guys, that is our review for The Mandalorian. And I would say thank you so much for everyone that's come past for this video, who also come and listen on the replay. This has been such a great time. Thank you so much, Zach, for coming past. It's a pleasure having you on. And as I always say, you always have a spot on this show to come back anytime. And please, for anyone who does, go definitely check out the Nerd Dose podcast on YouTube or Spotify. Maybe just test out Spotify first compared to other places. Any final words, Zach?
I just really honored that you brought me on for your 100th episode. I know we've been kind of going back and forth the last month or so trying to plan this, and none of the dates have really worked out. But no worries. Like, I'm just really happy I got to come on. I've been itching to talk to you, Lee. So I had a blast. Thank you so much. And really, really happy to hear you say I can come back anytime. So it's always a fun time. And congratulations on your 100th episode. Let's go for 100 more.
Done. I'll see you at 200. So everyone, thank you very much. And until next time, happy ranting.
Thanks for listening to Lights, Camera, Rant. If you like the show, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. While you're at it, leave us a rating and review, and be sure to tell your friends. Until next time, happy ranting.